everyone, it's Peter here, Piotr Fissner. Guys, so I bought this Hitachi. It has a it had actually, okay, it had like black lines or gray lines. And me and Andrew, we were sitting yesterday about 10:30 p.m. or something. I thought I pressed the power button. And what have happened was that it didn't work, yes, well, because of those lines and so on, and the background, you know, was just blurry white, but it is working, yes. There are small, like tiny horizontal lines, so the horizontal synchronization is off, but I fixed it by checking all the voltages in the T-con and then checking all the voltages on the, not all the, but you know, checking for shorts on the capacitors and voltages on the driver board which connects to the display. And I found that the voltages are present, so I said okay, so in that case something is shorting, you know, and that's why it's causing no display. Yes, so we could can see. So okay, let's yeah, okay. The problem only is that it will play. So anyways, you know, like I did try it, and I said, well, I need to block, you know, some of the signals. So I took a tape. I don't like these tapes that I have handy. You could literally take anything, even a piece of paper, to be true. But I took this tape because I know it's just sticking into the oh, that's a good visual example for you. So these, yes, which connects to the main board here, and then the second side connects to the display, yes, display driver board. I took the tape, took like about this portion, glue it, plug it in back to the driver board, and it showed the half of the screen still faulty, you know. So I said okay, no problem. I switch off the TV, unglue it, glue it on the opposite side. So if this was on this side, let's say I've glued it on this side this time. But the first what I've done is I removed one of these and turn on the TV, okay, and then I seen that the part of the screen is back on, you know, like magically, yes. So I knew that which one it was. Then I've done this first part, then it worsened, it didn't help, so I switch off the TV, unglue it, yes, then I've glued this part, switch on, and what you see is what you get. That's all I've done, you know. So Andrew was having a good example at night, how to fix TV without putting money into it. Now I could go to the next step, which is finding why there are those small lines which are not really disturbing, but because this TV I bought for like 40 quid, it's a Hitachi 55-inch smart TV. I don't think it will bother us, to be true, you know. I had in 90s TVs which were, you know, how to call it, you know, that was CRT TVs, and there was this analog signal, so you did have disturbance in the picture, you know. So for me, those small lines which are almost not visible to a bare eye, I don't think I will go to the extent, you know, to fix the synchronization in this. Maybe when I will have less work, you know, less worry, then I can do it. But I've got a remote for it, you know, with Netflix and so on. So yeah, so it's working, yes. So let's do now this one. That's an LG. LG has a different issue. Okay, where's my cable? Let's get cable. So we get a background, but we have nothing. It's just the background. Yes, no display. Completely whatsoever. And has a scar. But it's not a big scar, it's just a scar. So I unscrewed it at night yesterday, and it's time to open it. I don't know how to open it, by the way. That's something which I never opened. Screws were only on this side, basically. And the last screw was here, and that's it. At the top there's no screws. So I will try to open it, and I'll pause it, try to open it, and I'll explain you how I've opened it, okay? Or I will at least start opening it, and I'll explain, because you'll save yourself a time. Okay, so it's going. So what I did is here is a hole, and I placed my finger inside that hole, and I expanded a bit, and I took this tool, plastic tool. I use it for phones, for tablets, and different stuff. So I try to go inside, and then gently, about this width, maybe a bit more, yes. So this is what I took, and I start to put inside flat, and a bit like that, and go across. I went into the very end, and then I took it out, and I inserted more, yes. So then it became like that, loose. So I'll go across all TV, yes, and I'll finish it off, and we will be back. If you can help me, please like the video. Okay, so I couldn't go with a top. I have to switch sides and do the second side, so both sides went easier, and the bottom went just like that, probably because there are screws. And now this one, it's going, yes. I have to go one by one, quite deep about this. Yes, so I would say it's about half an inch, maybe a bit more, or 1.5 centimeters, something like that. Okay. I can't believe I left one screw. I'll finish it off and I'll be right back. Okay, so I've unscrewed that, and let's try. Yeah, it went off. So this is the design. If you want to see it closer, you can, yes. So what I will do now is I don't see I don't see a T-con, yes. So the T-con will be probably here or on the driver board. Okay, so I'll pause the video right now. I'll put it here. I'll pause the video, and I'll probably have to open this part. So when I'll open it, I'll come back. I've forgotten one more thing. Before doing anything, I like to just, because you can learn something new sometimes. If you do everything, you know, one way, you can't. So I've connected power cable, okay, and I'll disconnect one side of the cuff. even here from the main board. I mean from the LVDS cable. Yes, so let's disconnect it. Let's even leave it somewhere here. Let's plug it in. Because I think there will be voltage missing, so it wouldn't change anything. Oh, guess what? It did change something. This one is blackish, and this one has disturbance as it had original. Yes, so let's connect the other side. Sorry, let's disconnect the other side. So I've connected back the side which we had disconnected, the top one. Now we will do the bottom one, which is left here. Okay, so we get it out. Oh, for a second there was something, and then it died. So yeah. No luck, no luck. Okay, I'm looking at the camera over there. Nothing. Now here I'll look. Let's open and let's check. Okay, I'll pause again because I don't want you to spend too much time. Okay, so just an update for those who never done it, because I haven't done this model. Okay, in order to get to the driver board here at the bottom of the screen, I had to remove this cover. Okay, and here where the sensor is for the remote was as well a screw, and there were several screws on the side, looking like 3 here to me, and will be probably 3 as well on the other side. Okay, and then this bezel, or whatever you can call it, it's going off by unclicking it. So just be gentle, you know, to not damage it. It's easy really to damage it. But now we get a full access to the LVDS signal here. Okay, so now I'm able to work on it. Yes, so now will be a tricky part because I can't damage it but I need it on the other side. Okay, so normally, yes, normally you could get a table, which I want to do, but I've got no time. So the table would be designated only for the TVs. You take out the display and you place on that table, and that has a backlight of one of the TVs, or you create a table like that. Glass table would be heavier and dearer, and you need like quite a thick glass, or you can get a plexiglass from the TV, yes, and use it as a backlight and as a table. That's it. You can even stick some foil on it, you know, so that if you will scratch it, it will be only foil scratched. It's up to you, you know, or then put like a small glass on it, or put additional plexiglass on top of it, yes, or some polarizer. So if you scratch, you don't just scratch the table itself, which you've made. Okay, so what I will do now, yes, I'll flip it first, I'll plug in the power, okay, and I'll start to measure voltage. Okay, so here are components, okay, and what I will be looking over there. I will be looking over there if capacitors don't have short, yes, and if voltages are present. So what voltages I will be looking at, yes, and I'll tell you, I'll pause and I'll tell you, because I said that 2 videos below, so in the past, so you might not know it. You can Google them yourself as well, yes, and I've got a cheat sheet for the apprentice. So main board is sending 12 volts most of the time, yes, to the driver board or to the T-con, which then send voltages to the driver board, which is, as we know, those boards here, yes. Now the small screen can have 5 volts, okay, and the T-con or T-con built on the main board, yes, or depend how the construction is made of the TV, will have a DC to DC IC, okay, and there are VCOM, VGL, VGH, AVDD, and VDD, okay. You can learn about those signals, and I'll be checking all of them. There are certain signals which are responsible for certain failures, yes, and here, like, we've got a, we can say we've got a black screen, yes, or no picture. So if VGL would be faulty, yes, if VGL is missing, will be no picture or slow motion, okay, so we've got no picture. As well with VGH, yes, if no VGH, then no picture, slow picture, or lines on the screen, yes. Then AVDD, VDA, or VDDA, depend which brand, you know, we're talking, they will have different names. If no AVDD, if it's present, then a blue screen with no display, or black screen with lines as well. We don't have black screen with lines. Then VDD again, if not present, will be missing display or dark blue picture color with no picture. So in that case, one of those voltages will be missing, yes. Now each panel will have different voltages, so you need to Google your panel, because that's my panel, so you know, this can mean anything, yes. My voltages might be different to your one, that's why it's no point to talk about them, but I'll check and I'll come back to you and I'll tell you my findings. Okay, so quick update. When I did insert properly both cables for the left and right side, those long ones, which connects main board with the driver board, I found that there's no voltages. So I've checked by disconnecting one of them if the voltages are coming up, and when I've disconnected one side, voltages came back, at least on one side, yes. Now when I've connected back, I see that voltages are dropping again at the same place, the same capacitor on the main board, you know, which is just before the connection of the you know, T-con to the, from the main board to the driver board. And then what I've done is I literally disconnected, yes. So now I will be trying to check for shorts on that side, because that's showing that this side is shorted somewhere, and because of that I've got no power, because power is cut off, yes. So let's wait, I will try to check it and I'll put back the recording on when I will have more findings for you. Guys, it has to be just part one. I went across everything, I've checked, I've disconnected, connected, I've checked voltages with connectors on, off, I've checked for shorts. I don't see anything that I could quickly fix. It's not a quick fix, okay? I need to understand how it's connected there, maybe get some schematics if lucky. If not lucky, I need to go put the microscope there, and it will cost me some time to do it, so I can't do it now, yes. That's why I don't want you to have long video, it's 20 minutes almost anyway. That's why I will record part 2 when I will have, you know, some time. I will first find what's wrong with it, yes, and how can I cut off this short or just remove the short permanently. and then, you know, then we will see, because I've got a second TV with the same fault, okay, the same fault, and the same brand, similar model, or the same model, and so I would like to fix them both if possible, yes. If no, use their displays if possible, then to build another TV on them, because that's 4K display, so it's still worth the money. And the backlight is working as well on top of that, so you know, even power supply is working. So the problem only is the signal which comes from the TV, goes to the display board, and then it's shorting out. The minute we plug in the cable into the driver board, switch it on, boom, short, and at the same place where capacitor is showing 17 volts, and on the pinouts at the driver board we should see 15 and or 17 and 10 on the second side, on the opposites. We see them when the connector is out, and we measure on those pins, but the minute we want to, you know, connect it and switch it on, the same place on the pinouts showing 0. Yes, so I need to know, and I can't quickly fix it. Yes, so hopefully you understand why. Guys, thank you for sticking for so long. Let's call it a day on this video, and let's try to do something else in the next video, or maybe you'll have that video as well as a follow-up, as a part 2. I don't know when I will record part 2, because if I will become too busy, customers coming any minute now to collect 2 TVs, which I've done yesterday, and I've got other jobs as well, okay, and apprentice, you know, Andrew is coming in a few minutes as well. So in that case, I need to finish this video to catch up with everything what's going on, and then if lucky, I will record a part 2 straight away. If unlucky, I'll have to put everything back together, and maybe without the screws, and I'll record the part 2 when I will have more time. But that's it, everything in this video. If possible, let's fix them on. Thank you for those who liked and or subscribed. See you in the next video. Bye bye.